right, YouTube, back again. Been a minute. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And you know me, I'll tell y'all things and then I'll back up. I give it to you raw and uncut. I give you scenarios. I give you the truth. And I don't necessarily make predictions. I could, but I tell it to you before it happens and it winds up happening without having to claim a prediction or announcing that it is a prediction, right? And I'm not talking about Donald Trump winning the election, in which that was logical, that was common sense for the betterment of the country, for people across the board, regardless of race. Because if you're in America, you have to solidify America, right? Now, when I told y'all that I was going to draw up proposals and recommendations and stuff like that, they got submitted. And I even talked about some of them. I find it funny now that a lot of the stuff that I talked about is just so embedded in Donald Trump's campaign. Now, let me correct myself. Preparation for inauguration. Campaign's over. Sorry about that. Brain fart. Excuse me. But the things that I talked about, right? They're going full force, especially with this government efficiency department. I sent so much stuff and talked about that stuff so much about the use of taxpayer money, misappropriation of funds, fraud. It just, especially with reference to how the migrants are just being paid to seek asylum in America, along with other foreign spending. I looked at how much money America gave away under the Biden administration in foreign affairs, and you wonder why we have a government efficiency department now created, which was long overdue. I wonder where it was 40, 50 years ago. That lets you know that somebody's been doing a lot of stealing. Um, just imagine that going on all this time, and then the recent discovery of $17 million being spent to end the hush and non-disclosure of sexual assault cases by government officials. Makes no sense at all. Like, and that's not a Democratic or Republican thing. That's just anybody that's been in government in general uh, throughout the decades. So, so we have trying to get America's budget deficit under control. Now, I told you the other way too. Have people come out and contribute, to the local government um, that will be connected to the Department of Treasury, from state treasury to the federal treasury, the local governments, county clerks, some office of the sort where people can, the population of each township and city could go there and give money toward the national debt, same way they come out and vote. It'll be done with. Of course, cut government, senseless government spending. Um, Definitely do that and do away with programs that aren't needed in the government. But we will be out of debt literally in one day with my idea alone. Uh, but yeah, I got the crystal ball, man. I try to tell y'all, but you gotta be. I guess you gotta with the, be fake or be with the mess. You know, to have a platform of a certain caliber. I'm not that kind of person. You know, I want to be fake, and I don't want to give y'all overdone topics. I don't want to tell you anything that's not in your best interest. So it's going to be interesting. I do see prosperity coming. I see peace coming. Um, what I don't see coming is what I've been saying for a while, like the teenage adolescent mentality that existed between the parties, the fighting and bickering and not being able to have a conversation. Uh, I just don't see that getting any better. I mean, and then the other thing is like the fake news, the manipulation news, um, fake rhetoric, manipulation rhetoric, like that worked the last 4 years. It's didn't work this go round. At the ending of the 4 years, transitioning into a new leadership, but some people won't let go. Like it's crazy how people can sit there and be insane and lie to the public and make up stuff for propaganda. And again, I know what it's about. It's to keep power and to keep the bag at your expense. That's what it's for. They want to make you think they're caring about migrants. They really don't. They care about how much money they're going to make uh, with this agenda. Whether they're the businesses that are hiring the cheap labor or outsourcing the cheap labor, either or, um, which is the main thing. So cheap labor, a new workforce, and a new voting bloc, a new slave workforce. So that's their interest in it. They know the American public is due a pay increase, and they don't want to make that pay increase. So they rather phase you out and bring in a new group. So that's what that's about. Um, I want y'all to really pay attention. Now you really need to pay attention to the Democratic Party, right? Because the wool's been pulled from over a lot of people's eyes. They have been pulled from power. Now you really have to watch and see what's about to happen. Like, is it going to be like a lot of incidents occur? Terrorist type incidents, disruptive type incidents. You know, I know what they did with COVID, and I'm saying that in all confidence. Again, I was talking to somebody and I was telling people COVID existed uh, well before it became a pandemic, because you got to think, this is the question that I asked this person, because they basically want to blame Donald Trump for the pandemic. And I said, you can't blame him for the pandemic because COVID existed before the pandemic ever happened. And not only did Donald Trump uh, at least was in power when it became a problem, but other government officials clearly let it be known that they were aware of COVID and accused him of not doing anything about it. So all y'all knew at the same time, right? But y'all put the responsibility on him. And COVID existed way before then. It goes all the way back to the first Obama administration. And I told y'all about the outbreak of SARS in Europe and how SARS crept over here slightly a little bit. COVID is a hybrid virus made up of many different things, SARS being included, engineered in the lab in China. And all governments, heads of government in all countries knew that this lab existed. That's what I want y'all to know. And it was called the plandemic, not the pandemic, right? And Donald Trump was the fall guy for it. It was also the Democrats uh, plight to help push him out of office so they can get back in for the next 4 years, this last 4 years, and do the dumb shit that they did. Uh, A lot of people in the World Health Organization, a lot of actors, entertainers, a lot of high-profile people that had investments in it had a lot to gain off COVID and the vaccines. So, I mean, I watch all this stuff, man. I look at this stuff. Sometimes, man, I have to disappear like that. I hate to disappear on y'all, but I have to because it becomes annoying sometimes. It becomes a nuisance to be aware like this and you see this nonsense and you have to let it play out. You don't want to frustrate yourself trying to fight how it should go, it should be, what should or shouldn't be done because this stuff has to play out. Uh, that's the curse of awareness. So everybody's talking about a civil war. Everybody's talking about a World War III or IV. No, not gonna happen. Um, no race war. Now, this deportation thing and this tension between illegals and lawful citizens, that's gonna be a problem. And the government or government officials that backs these illegals, that's gonna be a problem. So uh, the reason why I still won't be civil is because you're dealing with illegals and you're dealing with a loss of power from another side that basically can't enforce law, nor define it, um, and definitely can't skew it. They have to interpret it. So, but it's being enforced by the other side now, which would be based off interpretation. So, the soil itself is allowed to be defended against foreign powers and even domestic threats, and also tyranny. Seems civil because it may be on the soil, but it's not really civil. You know, you're still dealing with an outside threat. They just been let in, and you have basically uh, turncoats, traitors to the American people, uh, all the way across the board that wants to support this madness or act like that there's a righteous cause behind this. Really is not. Again, it's the underlying money grab and replacement of the American people. That's what it is. So y'all just pay attention, keep looking. I did I did a lot of Pew Research surveys. I gave a lot of feedback. Um, I responded to the emails correctly from the right administration, not the junk emails, spam and stuff like that. So I gave a lot of good insight. So y'all stay tuned, pay attention. A lot is about to happen. So this is your boy Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll talk with y'all later. Have a good day.